there was a lot of arguing and fighting still going on at home.
Okay.
And I had got to a place where I was not going to be beat anymore.
Okay.
I was not going to be beat anymore.
Okay.
And I knew seriously that someone was going to get hurt.
Okay.
Because I was not going to be hit with 2x4s and hammers
From your
and
dad.
poker irons and no more.
Okay.
And this woman had really fallen for me and had been asking me to come move in with her, and I would not. In fact, I was running from that. I was not trying to be gay.
So you had some morals.
Yeah, I was not trying to be gay. I didn't know what had happened with that, but because the things got so rough at home, the violence escalated to a peak where I had no choice. I felt I had no other alternative. I called a friend of mine one night and told him to come pick me up, and he drove me to her house, and I moved in to get away because I knew that at this point, if I got hit one more time, I was going to fight back.
Right.
And you didn't fight my father back.
And somebody was going to die.
Somebody was going to die.
Right.
So I wound up living with her.
Living with the woman.
With that woman. And I wound up a girl toy. She
Was she older?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
She didn't want me to work. I became a prisoner in that place. I mean, she supplied me with weed and liquor, and all I had to do was just stay there in the house. And she worked, was out in the country, but I'm not going to stay on that too long.
Right.
It opened the door now to, she would take me out to gay clubs. I had never been to any
club.
gay clubs, or I never had been involved in any of those things. It was a whole new world.
Okay.
I wound up meeting some other people who were more streetwise and things like that. Now I began to learn how to be a butch or stud. That's the masculine role.
So you weren't the female, you became the actual man.
Yes.
In the relationship.
In my mind, I had decided that I had seen so much abuse.
Okay.
That I wanted to treat women better than men did.
So a shift took place.
I spent 23 years perfecting what I perceived to be the perfect man.
So you became, in your own mind,
what I perceived to be the perfect man. I would wash the car. I could fix the car. I'd change the lights. Never let them see you sweat. Never let her worry about a bill being paid. Never being physically abusive. Being as attentive sexually as I could possibly be. Go out, earn the money. Cut the dog's hair. I mean, what I perceived to be the perfect man. That a woman should never strain. She should never be worried. She shouldn't have those kind of pressures on her. She shouldn't have to work. I worked on it for years. I developed what I...
And not only physically, but mentally.
Mentally, I became a man.
You became...
Everything
now,
about
let me say this again.
Was a man.
And I know the viewers are watching. You actually became a man in your thinking.
Everything about me was a man except my body makeup.
Okay.
In fact, I've done... I've actually come in on some men's groups where they have like masked men's and they don't have nothing but men there and no women speakers. I've been allowed to come in and actually address all male groups.
Okay.
And when I first came in, they looked at me real strange, like a woman. What's she doing up in here?
Right.
But I let them know. I said, I'm coming in here. I said, I know you all are wondering what I'm here. I'm the first female to attend some of these things.
Okay.
I said, but I'm able to address you all or speak to you all in three different areas. I said, I'm going to talk to you in 3 ways. I'm going to talk to you as a woman of God. I'm going to talk to you as a woman. And then I'm going to talk to you as a man. When I said it, a whole bunch of them went,
Right.
But before it was over,
they knew.
When I let them know just what a man feels, they knew that I had the mindset of a man. You couldn't tell me I wasn't a man. The only thing that made me realize that I was not a man
all right.
was when that time would come around. Then I'd be smacked back into reality for a little while.
But let me ask you this. Now, leading up, you had totally taken on the identity of a man in your thinking.
Yes.
How long did that last?
I went through a whirlwind of some things. Let me just give you that thing in a quick...
Okay. Quick.
I began partying every night.
Every
night. Club light, them disco lights and
demons and spirits.
Them demons and them spirits and all the drugs and the alcohol, everything just came flooding. I wound up started shooting needles. I've always been afraid of needles, but I still was doing that, the drinking, the drugging, orgies every night. We were so crazy. Everything just went. There was no limits.
Let me ask you one question, and I believe the Lord quickened something to my spirit. Were you happy?
No. That's the whole thing. no matter what when you're searching for something, and what most people are looking for, well, be it with low self-esteem, there are women that out there that can't live without a relationship, and then they always seem to get these men that abuse them or things like that. No matter what it is, the key to what everyone is looking for, whether it's alcoholism, drug addictions, homosexuality, whatever it is, they're food addictions.
Okay.
They're people who are shopaholics. There are all kinds of addictions, but what people are really looking for is love.
So what you're telling me, and I want
Real
to
love.
make sure our audience hear this. So when people say they are gay, are they really gay? Gay
Well,
means
you
happy.
know, I say it's extremely ironic. I'll go through this with you real quick, just so that people can
Because
get an
they
understanding.
need to realize
First
that.
of all, I'm going to make a few statements.
Okay.
This is not a gene.
It's not a gene.
It is not a gene.
So people ain't born.
You are not born that way. First of all, if we say God is sovereign, he doesn't make mistakes. You know, he wasn't like Dr. Frankenstein.
Right.
And he had a human being laid out on a table, and he's experimenting, and then this old giant bolt of lightning came, and he wasn't looking for, and shifted something, and he go, oops.
Right.
God is not like that.
Okay.
He doesn't make mistakes. You know?
So it's not in the
It's
gene.
not in the genes. It is not a gene. This is a demonic spirit. I know what I'm talking about.
So it's a demon.
It is a demonic spirit, but this thing gets so deeply rooted because it is birthed out of hurt, pain, molestation, disappointment, lack of love. All kinds of things have happened and set up for this thing to come in. There are other spirits that come in first, and normally it's unforgiveness, bitterness, hatred, hurt,
Abuse.
pain, abuse, and that stuff just keeps hitting and hitting and hitting and
Sets
nailing
you up,
and
sets you
nailing
up,
and
right.
nailing. And then after a while, with all of that other stuff there, it opens that door. That's why even though I had gone through all of those things as a child,
Right.
it wasn't until that appointed setup time
Right.
for that thing to actually enter
Boom.
in. And then when it came in, it came.
It came strong, and it had a hold.
It had a home because there were so many things. You see, people are set up with that thing.
Right.
They're set up and it waits. Whatever that stronghold spirit is going to come, it waits. It's patient.
Right.
Until it can come in. I'm telling people, I'm not some person that just was born saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost, some little holy roller that don't know. The woman that I married, I wound
Now
up
hold
eventually.
on. You eventually married a
I
woman.
eventually got married, had a wife and everything. That woman's eyes used to change colors, and whenever there was a full moon, she would get out of the car if we were driving, urinate, and howl at the moon.
Now you told me when you first had on your wedding day, when you was first getting married, how you got drunk because you was drinking liquor prior
Because
to
I
getting.
knew that there was still something wrong. Even though I had been in the lifestyle now for a while, and I'd become a pro. I mean, I was all cold up man now.
Right.
And I was performing live as Luther Vandross,
So you was a impersonator.
a male impersonator. I picked that up in the penitentiary.
Okay.
I impersonated Luther Vandross at a talent show in the penitentiary,
Okay.
and the women.
Okay.
I gotta say this real quick. Even in the penitentiary, the women are so lonely that anything that even resembles a man,
They fall for it.
they fall for, and they take care of you. If you are the male whatever in penitentiaries, you don't have to want
If
for
you're
nothing.
macho and
If you're the male, if you're the butch, women take care of you.
okay.
There are women who come in and out of the penal system regularly that aren't even gay. They have husbands and children. But once they get locked up, they come in, cut off all their hair, change their dress and everything because they know they're going to be taken care of.
Now, and I must interject this real quick. Did anybody come into the prison system
Yeah.
and preach against
Of course.
that lifestyle? They preached against it, but
Yeah,
they didn't.
it didn't take hold. I mean, in fact, if I told you some of the things that I did in the penitentiary just to get with my woman, today I'm so very ashamed.
But did they really preach against it with the anointing, or did they just say, my name is...
Most Christian people are extremely naive.
They don't even really know how to deal with that
they
spirit.
don't. And I'm going to quickly get to where you were as far as, no, it's not a gene. No, you were not born that way.
Right.
It is a demonic spirit. I know this to be fact because I have come face to face with those demons.
Okay.
Those demons actually have spoken to me. So I'm not sitting here telling you something that I don't know.
You're telling me from experience.
Experience. I know what it is.
You've been on both sides of the fence.
I've watched this woman's eyes change colors. And I also now understand how it even had affected me. As far as the lifestyle, let's go there.
Now I think I was asking you
about the gay
wedding day. On your wedding day, how that you was telling me you got drunk 10.
Well, I knew, even though I thought there was nothing wrong with being gay.
Right.
I ain't nothing wrong with that. But something about talking about standing before God and exchanging some vows.
That was a little deep.
I was running from that thing. That woman had been trying to get me to do that for years.